I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is April 21, Tuesday, 2026. Hope you had a good day today. So we talked, so I forgot two things in the yesterday's video. I don't know what possessed me to forget it, but when we gapped down and made a bullish candle on Monday, we didn't have any bearish candle. So now I waited for this to happen so I could show you this. But now we're gonna have a bearish candle being offered, which is, again, and I didn't like yesterday's down candle because it's showing high resistance, popping up, coming back deep, popping up, coming back deep, popping up, coming back deep, right? Popping up, coming back deeper, right? So they're taking out this liquidity here, and then with this bullshit news, our politicians are not going to be going overseas, and all this stupid shit about they're not, Iran's not going to be, in talks in Wednesday. All this dumb shit is just justifying this bullshit coming back down. Why? Because they know everybody was buying here. So are we still going to melt up? Maybe, and that's why I put a question mark yesterday in yesterday's video. So, oh my God, there's so much to say. I don't, but the thing is that when it's high resistance like that, we're getting these higher lows, and in the buy yesterday when I got out, guess what? We made a new high, but then but look at it. It doesn't expand. It doesn't keep going, and it doesn't even close above. So it takes out the new high, all-time high right there, and just comes right back in. So. But the real premise, and I don't know why I fucking forgot to say this in yesterday's video, is that we did not have a bearish candle offered. It came down and it popped up. Yes, it offered on a smaller time frame, but on the daily it did not, and that's very key. Just like when we were, oh man, I'm not even gonna try to find this shit. Oh, here, yeah, here's one of them, right, where we gapped down. It was just a bullish body, and we continued. That's how I knew we were still coming down. And then that happened where here? I think that here happened here, and I need to move forward. Point is that we didn't have that on the bearish side. So today was a very high chance of it, a reversal profile, which is where you gotta open high. Notice how we open and it's just consistently high like that. So it's either going to be really bullish or it's going to be really reverse. And that might sound stupid, but it's exactly what it is. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. So where's the proof? Well, again, coming in slightly and then pulling back in, right? They do that at tops too. So that's why I wasn't interested in trading this when I said that yesterday. But it's not a fun place to be, obviously, right? And then I have these bearish daily imbalances here. So if you want to dip down, this would be the first one. If it wants to leak and pass into this one, that would make sense to me too. But as of now, we also were on the overbought here, and we never really hit an oversold yet. So that's a pretty big deal in the 1 hour, especially. The 4 hour, we're kind of pulling back in a little bit. But again, it was just constantly up there, right? And a lot of people have made money on this move. So anyways, that's the high resistance movement, and that's kind of what I was talking about, especially with everything going on. So let me see if I can get into the video here. You can see, okay, there's not a lot. It might look like a lot of levels, but there's not. You got the 4 levels that are quadded, same levels. I have the first imbalance here from Friday pulled over here, and then I have Monday's pulled over. All right, and then you'll see what else? The midnight levels right there in the blue green. All right, that's it. All right, and well, obviously the big stupid high from last year, all-time high, and the big thick green. Okay, because again, they're gauging buying or selling off of that level and plus the 930 and all that, right? Because those are time-based, higher time frame, and also algorithmic key levels that it's always going to be 930 every day. All right, and that high is always going to be that high, right? So we're working off this. So that being said, and then there's the opening range gap. The opening range gap is here. It's quadded as well. And then the fucking daily gap today is on. Is perfectly on. Look how it's 50% of the opening range gap. Damn near. Missing it by a little bit. See that? It's right in the center of the opening range gap and then today's gap. Okay? So because of that, the speaker tops that we normally get at tops, right? And the manipulation, that's a high chance of us pulling back in. So with this sweep here, you can see, oh my God, it's a lot to talk about. I'm a little overwhelmed, but bullish imbalance right here, it gets used as an inversion. I didn't draw it, but we'll come above it and we come underneath it. Bearish and bearish imbalance. Oh, shit. Okay. And, sorry. So, fuck. Hold on a second. Okay. So bearish imbalance here, and then we're coming down in. We know the opening range settlement is here. So we're already selling in. We're selling in. We're using the previous opening range gap, which would be Monday. I have it dragged out in this quad here. So you can see, all right, so much to say, dude. I can't even do this. There's this quad here, and then, and I quadded it. Forget the 8th. I just put quads on it. It's just too messy a little bit. And then while we're coming down here, you'll see us on the 1 minute right here to the bottom left. See, we're coming in it. We're using it. All right. 930 raise it, shoots down to seal the opening range gap immediately. All right. If you watch live price, it snapped to the 50 like an instance. There's no way fucking buyers and sellers were able to snap it to the 50 on an instance. If you go see that, it's fucking hilarious. But that's not what happened. Yeah, that's not buyers and sellers doing that. Anyway, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin here, bro. It's crazy. So we sealed the 930, and this is an internal low, right? They're keeping the bodies in here, so now this is easy selling, right? So what do? They pop up, all right? So when we're popping up here, we're bouncing up higher, higher, low, all right? Coming in. Here's the first imbalance of the day that I'm using here, which is going to be this 931 candle. All right, you see we're above it. You see the body staying inside it, wicking to the 25%, pushing up, creating an imbalance right there, and then you can see us dipping into it. All right, what are we doing? We're coming back above the 930. Super unfair price delivery, and then easy lower highs here. So they do that on purpose so they can ram it back. So we run it back. I buy this, come up, take it, and it's fucking the bodies stop at this bearish imbalance. That's not helpful for the trade. And then we tick the previous all-time high, which is Friday, right? Which is also Friday's high. So it ticks it to the perfect tick, okay? That's not what you want to see, number one. Number two, notice how the bodies here, all these bullish bodies, are protecting the retracement. So this retracement gets protected, pushes up, all bullish bodies. Retracement protects, all the bullish bodies protected with an imbalance. Same here, bullish bodies. Retraces back, stops. Bullish bodies, retracement back into this imbalance, push up for a new high, retraces back into this imbalance, still there, doesn't make a new low. You don't have a break in structure yet. Boom, pops up, turns into a pin bar, and then what happens? The bodies are sitting there stuck. All they wanted to do is come up and sweep these guys gently, and then if you look at the higher time frame, you'll see that once we sweep that high, it's because well, they swept it first, and then when they come back to it, notice they don't make a new high. It's a failed high. They're sweeping that because people are selling off of this high. Okay, they're selling off of that. Sure enough, they come back to try to get them to the tick, and then it sells off again. So they're also now building liquidity again on the right side. So what does that mean? That means that this buying right here, this easy buying. So initially I was looking for a dump pump, and then it ends up being a shakeout, right? So in that case, in this case, looking for a bearish daily body to be happening, you're going to see lower lows and lower highs. So that's an internal low. That's a failed lower high. If it doesn't go through, it has a high chance of coming back. So that being said, where is the sign on the wall? What I just mentioned here, and then you get these 3 consecutive candles here. See that? You don't want to see that if you're buying, first of all. It makes another low, and then it pops up. So I'm not going to highlight the bullish imbalance. I'm just going to cross over these 2 bullish imbalances that were supposed to hold price. It fails. The first one fails, and it closes right on it. That's signal 3 or whatever. And then this one, we come underneath it. Now it's going to be used as resistance. So if I drag this over, you'll see that we're underneath the 50% of it. Okay. Yes, I could have made a bearish imbalance here, and that's fine. But I think you'd miss it by a tick. that's not the point. Is that now we're using this as resistance. So look at the bodies now not being shown in that top half. It's just all right. So we came inside back into the gap, and then coming back to the mid range if it's a speaker on this side, because you had a speaker here. See that highs and then the low. So buy up. This is a possible sell, but I don't naturally want to sell this because of the fact that we are bullish. And we're still bullish, and there's no question that we're still bullish. And then, is this a crack here? Only crack for possibly a retracement. This doesn't mean we're bearish. If you're bearish, right, from here, how can you be? What do you expect? You think it's going to make a high and it's going to come all the way back down here? That's not fucking happening, dude. I don't see how that's possible. Deeper retracement, like I've been talking about in the higher time frame, with May coming back in, yes. Anyways, so lower internal low, that's a lower high. Okay? Well, here comes another lower low. So when it's coming down here and there's no bodies here, this is not a good sign of buying. Then it breaks down again, boom, uses this as a high probability imbalance right there with the gap because it's the 930. And we're underneath it. We tag it and it rushes forward. I can see that, dude. Well, yeah, I understand that. But coming into this area here, because of that daily gap and that 50% opening range gap, is like a magnet. So it's getting drawn back in. And then what's it called? Making a new low. I have this first imbalance here pulled out from Friday, right? So we come back to it. Body stay there. We stretch kind of almost to this 25%. Shoot back all the way where? To this high probability area for the day, right? So in a speaker, high, low, you could say this is the mean reversion. You're at the 25% of the opening range gap right there. I'm not the opening range, the fucking current week gap. And then that level there. And then I dragged over the first imbalance as well. So we're above it, above it, come below it. And then if I drag this over, I don't want to do it because it would be messy, but now I'm going to do it for you. You can see that we are underneath Mondays, because Mondays is obviously very important of this week because it's Monday, all right? And then we come back in, tag in the 50%. Can you see that? Tag in the 50%. No bodies on above. So that's the lower high, okay? I'm going to drag this over. And then now, if you think this is the first higher low to buy, make a new high, I understand that's a possibility. But again, high resistance, you don't want to see this coming back down. And this is a straight shot, too easy. So they're just rushing to get all these sellers. Now, after they took out all these sellers, well, they're coming back for the buyers, coming back up for the sellers, because this was also a very obvious sell. Because what? It is a new low and it's a lower high, right? With a mean reversion. All right. So the structurally, it's not making higher lows. Okay. So we hit that. We come right back to the first imbalance of Friday ticket. And then we come back in again, that 25%. We're hitting that opening day gap again with the 50% opening range gap. And then back to the Monday's first imbalance. Now we're underneath it again. It's another lower high, these bitches. Okay, watch this. Again, the issue is because of a new Fed chair talking and all this bullshit, you're going to have a very hard time with precision, and it's just that simple. So definitely want to be nimble if you're trading. So lower high still makes a new low. Lower low, lower high, all the way down, ticks the open of the gap beautifully. Now, you're not looking to buy these, right? Because you need a better narrative on the higher time frame and lower time frame together, which is what? Well, you think this is going to be an inversion. No, it doesn't pop up. And this is floating in the middle of nowhere, first of all. And number two, that's it. That's all you need to know. Yes, we just rated this, but this is also very shallow. Then it comes out for another drive. You don't want to buy this because there's no bearish imbalance here. You want to see an inversion, turn an inversion. So, and you're also floating. Then it comes down, ticks it perfectly, hits that, and then you see you have an inversion here, right? So when this last down candle is here, plus this next swing candle 2 is a reversal, closes up. Candle 3 shoots up. So that's a nice swing. Now Now, we haven't crossed over it, but it hitting this level plus some other factors, you see as we close above and then we make another higher low here, you're getting structure up. This is a higher probability situation because now you have a raid, now you have a high time frame key level, you have a bearish imbalance involved, and you have a nice swing here, and then you have structure up, right? So, and then there's a bullish imbalance right there. It's a little one, it's just very small, but it's there, and then that's explaining the fact that we're now popping right back up where now we hit the first imbalance of today, right? So they hit that and they're underneath here. So they swept everyone here, right? And then pops right back up into this rejection open. So what's the open of this candle here? The open is up there, 756 and a quarter. What's the high here? What did I say? What's the high here? 765 and 3/4. 765 and 3/4. And what's the open here? Oh, I'm sorry, the close here. 765 and a half. So I meant the close here, not the open. See that? So what does that mean? That on purpose they went up a tick. That means they got into that rejection candle right there. But we also have this. Then what does it do? Comes back down, plays around here, boom, snaps on this 25, and then right back, swinging right back into that fucking key level that I talked about today. And then even if I drag this out again, you'll see, oh, look. Out of all the places, the 50% of there's no bodies here again are rejected. And then immediately rush down. This is when they put the news out of saying our politician isn't going to be going overseas to whatever the fuck, okay? He's not going. Okay, so they canceled the trip. Whatever, bro. Yeah, so the stocks are going to sink because of that. Get the fuck out of here, dog. And it was already coming down before they even released that information, too. So, yeah, you're telling me the collective trading community and investors in the world immediately push sell right there? No, why would they wouldn't do that? It was already coming down. Anyways, so that's a very big factor in this conversation with the no bodies there again, right? So what are they doing? It's another, that's a low, and then they came up, and you think this is a lower high. Okay, yeah, and it doesn't even take it out, does it? Oh my gosh, how I make videos long, man. Okay, look at this. To the ticks it. What's the high here? What's the high? 786 and a quarter. What's the high here? 786 and a half. So one tick. What's this one? What's the high here? And a half. One tick. One fucking tick. Right? It's still equal highs. All right? Making it very difficult. And then immediately rush it down for this pool here. And ultimately, you can see I'm just projecting the opening range, the first 30 minutes. So the high and the low of the first 30 minutes after 9:30. And then you can see I'm projecting it -1 to 1.5 here. And then nicely that we come down in here as well. And then that's that old swing high right there. You can see from obviously January right there, right? Which is January fucking 28. Okay, so there it is. Sweeping them down. And then this 4 hour, again, I didn't like the way it closed too. And I saw that and I was like, okay, yeah, this thing is, when this next 4 hour candle, this 2 o'clock was popping up, I was like, this is it's just squeezing some of that body of the previous candle. And it's going to continue for another bearish candle. And sure enough, that's what it did. Why? Because you're expecting a bearish day. Again, I'm sorry for yesterday. I rarely miss something like this. And I miss it. I just forgot to say it. And then I realized after the video that you don't have a bearish body. Now that's what you're seeing now, which is good. This is what you want to see anyway, to be honest with you. If you're bullish, you don't want that to be hanging on your, So now that they did that, I'm not saying we're not going to keep coming lower, but I'm just saying. That's why I was just neutral. Yeah, I was very clear about saying that yesterday. So that being said here, I want to show you the fire here real quick. And then you can see on the opening range gap chart, you can see starting from here. I'll just go over it. Look at the body sitting on the 5 minute right there. See that? And then we pop up and then we come back in using the previous day's gap right there. You can see it here. Well, we pop up here on the 15 minute. Look, hitting the 50, sweeping above, coming underneath. Boom, right there. So the 25% of yesterday's or opening range gap and the 930 is the exact same level today. That's why it's really high chance of it selling from there. See that? See that right there? High probability imbalance right there. Beautiful. And you have time involved. Macros kicking in, the 1050 to 1110, and then that's perfect. That's a lower high. So we busted through that low, and then it's a lower high, right? Okay. Following, just keep following the 1 minute so I can get over this, right? I didn't mention us popping up to the 50, coming back in, up in here, hitting the 25. Take a look at it. You're on your own, okay? And then coming back in, you see it just melting back down. Where? This was Friday's opening range gap. I have it extended. So we came down right here. Boom, right on the 8th. Okay, that's this right here. That's this right here. That's here right on the 8th. To the tick, buddy. I mean, that's perfect. All right, so that's why I would also look at this as a possible buy too, right? Why? Because it's a back to breakout area. It's a model that I have that's called back to breakout, which is where you break out and you come back. It's just pretty much, in this case, a lower low to a lower high, wiping out the easy sellers. As you see, we come in here to the 8th here, and then we play around to the settlement, and we pop above the 50. They're trying to look like the 50 doesn't exist. They're passing the 50 and they hit the 8th. All right, and then when they sell off again, we come back in here, and then we come back to the opening, which is what? That's Friday's 930 level to the tick. That's not fucking random. All right, shoots back up, hits the 50 first, and then boom, hits to the 8th perfectly. Look at that, right? It's algorithmic. Okay, watch this. I can't go over more on this, dude. Oh, look. Oh my God, these fucking scammers, my dude. Oh, you fucking scammers. Oh, my mama, dude. My mama, I'm sorry, bro. Oh, you're such fucking scammers. Because I was looking to buy it, and then I just walked away. And then what other bullshit news are they putting out right now? Let me see. Fucking, oh my God, you scammers. Why do you think they would do that, bro? Why do you think they would do that? Oh, because what's his name? He's not taking his trip overseas. So they came in and rammed him. Why would buyers and sellers do that? They wouldn't fucking do that. And then out of nowhere, all right, why? Because everyone was easy selling here. You could have closed your eyes and saw each one of these candles selling. Boom, coming right back, bro. Right back. Right fucking back, dude. To the tick. To the first imbalance. Look at that right there. Out of all the places you tick and you come all the way. Look, come on, bro. Look at these fucking scammers. Oh my God. Yo, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen something this challenging in a long time, bro. This is fucking wow. Wow, you bastards. So, again, that's why I was still bullish. And then they're just making it fucking really hard. But they know that, bro, they know we on their ass, dude. So, just let me finish. So, anyways, we hit this 50 and we come back down in. Where was I, man? Where was I? Was I here? Yeah, so a lower high comes in. All right, 25%, 8th, last quadrant lower on the low. All right, comes in here. Lower, low, lower, high. Bink, comes in, boom. Buys. Right there again. Right here. Another fucking swing on this 8th. You can see it on the 15-minute right there. Another candle closure like this, just like it was yesterday. Right there. See that? Beautifulness right there. That's why when I bought it, I knew it was working because I held it. That's what you want to see, candle reversal. And then the third one expands. The same thing here, right? And we'll watch it very closely. Expands to the 8th. The bodies close on the 25%, dude. And the fucking next candle just shoots right up. You think that's buyers and sellers, bro? They don't know about Friday's 25% level on the opening range gap. They don't fucking know that level. Shoots it right back up into another lower high and squeezes all the sellers. And that's shown by here. As you can see on the 1 minute, we reverse, we pop up, we come back in. Here's a high probability imbalance with an inversion. See this inversion right here? Very high probability inversion. And then lunch starts. So time is involved. It's not a macro, but it is lunchtime. I'm sorry, PM session time. And sure enough, takes off, right? Candle before and all of that. But comes right here. Watch this. Shoots straight to almost this 8th right here. And then you can see it pop back in. Boom, to this 8th. Playing around. comes above to the settlement, hits the 9:30 of Friday, back to this 8th, comes back in, shoots up, getting in to this area here on the 8th, sinks all the way, shoots it down. Look at this. Just watch. You might think this is foolish. It's not. Coming right down, squeezing into this 50%. Now I'm going to go to the, you can see the 5-minute body stopping right there. Look at these motherfuckers, boy. Ooh, scammers. So in a high resistance day, you're going to see this. So that's where, to take advantage of it, you can take advantage of some of these trades. If your model presents itself, obviously, but knowing that it's going to hunt for liquidity. All right. And then what was I going to say right now? So you see this candle here. This is a 1 minute. Look at the 50%. Look at the body stopping on the fucking 50%. Look at the body stopping on this 50%. This is the 15-minute. Now the 3:30 candle ended, and then the 3:45 open. So the macro of the power hour. All right, and then you think that's fucking random, dude? No, it might look random. It's not. Look at the bodies, perfect. And then look at this. Jumps from the 8th and shoots straight back up, right back into squeeze that. There's a speaker there too, and it all in itself. Okay, so and then let me mention this fire. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh my god. Here is the rollover chart right here. Here's my rollover chart. No one on earth has this, and if they do, they're not telling anybody about it. Look at the rollover chart here. Okay, so that was yesterday. All right, so these big levels here. This is the 50%. All right, that's the 50%. It's in the dark red. That's an 8th level. That's an 8th level. That's a 25%. Okay, so and then underneath is another 25%. In between is a 16th. In the red here, in between these big levels are a 16th, and in between those are a 32, and in between that is a 64. That's what that was. Or this guy right here was a 64. I moved this over, by the way. Now watch this fire. We mosey on up yesterday. Boom, we open up and we tap that 8th. Look, out of all the places, that's a high probability bullish imbalance. Why? Because it's on that quadrant. We have time because it literally just opened up. Okay. And then it has its own macro there. Tags it. Look at this. Bounces through it. Bink. Perfect. All right. 8th. 16th. 32. 16th. 32. 16th. Oh, sorry. This is 32. Sorry. 32. Comes in here. 32. 16th. 25% level. This is the same level that I was using to buy to and sell from on Friday. That big figure is still there. That's the fucking same level, buddy. Come on. That can't be coincidence. So we pop up, we rate above it. Look at this imbalance right here. This 7:30. This is a 15-minute. This is a 5-minute chart right here. That's a high probability inversion, bullish. So it's a bullish inversion. So it pops up, it raids, and then it comes underneath it. Look how we're tagging underneath it. That right. So I didn't have to have anything on my chart. I could have just had this alone. Just this chart. I don't need anything else. And then this would be oh boy. So I make videos long. Okay, right there. Perfect. So that's a high chance if it's selling off. If it doesn't keep going, it doesn't use it as support or reclaimed, or using these bearish inversions that I had highlighted that were dragged across, then it's over with. It's coming back down, right? That's what they did. So, okay, we squeeze up a little bit. All right. We come back in at the 16th, shoot straight to the 8th, higher time frame. Boom, to the 32. Yeah, this is a different chart. So go screenshot the other one and look at this one. 32, right there. Out of all the places, you think so? So the opening range gap is working. So this is the macro grid. Okay, I'm convinced. This is what I figured out. This is the macro grid that I have here. The opening range gaps, those are like your intraday and current grids that the price is referencing. Put that on top of this. Then our traditional bullish and bearish imbalances on the daily and on the smaller time frames, that is more intraday, right? And of course you can use it for long term too, don't get me wrong. So you're incorporating all that. You'll see. Look at this. To the 32, straight to the fucking back to that 25%. Bruh. And what does it do from here? 16th, 32, all the way, shoots straight to the 32. You see that? Do you see that? Where does it go? Comes right back in. Another high probability bearish imbalance right here. It's on that quadrant. Okay? All right. Tags in it. Back to 16th. Sweeps back above. No bodies anymore. Weak. Can't hit that 32. That means it's weakness as well. Lower low, lower high. Coming in. Just look at it. Right to this 32. Out of all places, 32. Now, I mean, pretty much, right? It's not perfect, but it's there. Where does it go? Right back to the 8th. You don't say. That's a nice bullish inversion, bearish inversion. Remember? This bought from, and then now if you pull it out, it's being used as resistance now at this level. So it's pushing down for the moment. 32, pushing all the way back to the 8th. Oh yeah, I already said that, right? Snaps back in. All right. And I have this. Now I have these quadrant in here just so because it's such a big range that you want to see the precision. That's why I'm using it like this, right? Where was I? Here? Okay, body stop at the 16, snags the 32, snags the 32, 16, 32, back to the 16, 32, 16, popping up, sweeps above. All right, this conversation here. All right, and then immediately runs. That while we were watching, actually I was already recording the video, smacks that 32. Think about that. You think that's random? That can't be random. You're going to say, why didn't it hit the 8th? Well, because it doesn't need to. It took out this guy right here. Right here. This was a 64. Okay, snags this 32. Pops all the way back up to this 16th. Pops up, and then I don't know. Well, I can't see on this time frame. It's 5 minutes, but which one happened first? Sorry, it hit the 8th first. Let me go to 1 minute. I'll go to 1 minute even. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Takes off from here. Takes off, tags the 8th, and closes on this 32. Then it opens up this next candle, shoots past the 16th, gets in here. It's a balanced price range. Momentum traders. And then it popped right back up into this. All right, I'm doing too much. 33 minutes. I like that. For some reason, today's been going very slow today. Okay, so let's go into this. Look at this scamming ass shit. All right, look, here's VIX. And where were we here? Okay. So we are popping up with VIX slowly while we're coming down. Okay. And then VIX is coming down right here while we're popping up. And then they get that news that comes out, pushes up VIX all the way back up while we shoot down. And then when it tops here, they decide to scam it right back. And then that's us. I'm not going to go more into that. Don't need to. And then neutral. I was neutral bearish, right? And then and to show you that it could flip around, dollar is going higher here at the moment, and then that was pushing us back down more. And then this looks like it wants to kind of reverse, and then we're going to expand up for a new high. So that's the maneuvering there. Here you'll see we had what's it called? We had higher lows here with Dow, and then we had lower lows here. Once we did that 930 rated it, that's why I took the buy here. We took up the buy, and then guess what? Dow made a new high, and then we had lower highs. So I was like, you fucking pussies. So, and that was it for that trade, right? And then the also, besides it making a new high with Dow, then it makes a lower high here, and you can see we also have higher highs right here inside this leg. Yeah, you can see it here. These are higher highs here and higher highs there. And then that whole time we were making lower highs with Dow. And then they all fell in line. All right. And that's that here. And then I don't really see anything else besides this. There was at the time here you had a lower high with Dow that pushed it down. And then everything else was pretty kosher there. And then I think you got higher lows here. Yeah. No, lower high here. So they take out that guy internal low, and then you can see we have higher lows there, and higher lows there. See that? I mean, it's not really a big deal. Let me look at the bigger time frame here. Oh, fucking dirty. S&P. That's dirty too. All right, so here's your divergence there. I think there's a new low, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so this is probably what that was. Let me go to 1 hour. I can't really fucking tell. What is the low here, man? 0.85. What's the low here? 0.85. Fucking bastards. All right, equal lows. All right, so that will also sometimes equate to a divergence as well. So because this was equal lows and then these were both higher lows right here, that will equate to a push up too. Or divergence and then trade the other way. It's fucking back to neutral again, bro. Fuck you, bro. Excuse my language, man. Sorry. Anyways, so shake out, new high, and then come back down, back in. And you want to see like I said, you wanted to see the bearish candle. Now they've offered selling twice. It's like, okay, dude, what are you gonna do now? It's like, okay, whatever. I really don't care. Here's a pump dump here. So pump, dump, sell, buy, sell turns into. Okay, nice. It's actually kind of nice, even though the beginning sucks there. Comes back in. All right, and then S&P, same story. All right, check out high. Oh, I think that was a divergence too. Yeah, did I not mention that? I thought I mentioned that. Did I mention that on ES? Oh, I didn't draw it, did I? So ES, yes. ES had a lower high here initially. So that's what also popped us down here. So that was the big sign to begin with in the day that, okay, well, we just swept, but they're lower highs and then Dow made a higher high as well. So this was signifying, all right, this is weakness, or we're kind of capping out here, right? So there's that. Anyways, let's see here, what else? And okay, simple, and in the sense that with this liquidity, the way it's pushing up like that, it's like locking the price because they're trying to come back up. They know you're getting in, so it's an easy run and it's high resistance, so it's going to come back in the range. And then you look at this as you're already a lower low and a lower high here. And if you're like, well, dude, isn't this an internal high and it's making a higher low and it should make a new high? Yeah, but they didn't do that. So this is why on a day like this with Feds talking and all that shit, this is the kind of day that you're going to see. So you can maneuver around that. So, all right, so fucking dirty, bro. Oh man, but this is fire here, buddy. This is just super fucking fire. Also, I also talked about, I'll go to 1 hour real quick so I can be done. Jesus. You can see that this was the 50% of that range. So 2 standard deviations up. Right? So so there's fucking from here. There's your deviation there. Or your range, and then that's 1 full standard deviation, and that's 1.5. So this is the 1.5 deviation from the rollover grid that I created. And then that's why I was saying we're still look at the bodies here on the 1 hour, man. Look at this. You can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make that shit up. Look at out of all the places on this fucking chart, the 50% of this high probability grid. We came right back to it and closed and opened on it, from it. Man, stop. Now back to an oversold a little bit. And then, so right now this is looking like it's still bullish. Look at the bodies here. I don't give a fuck if it took out that high, that low, and it kept that low. It doesn't matter to me. This is a breakout area, and it's a fake support. I'm not saying that it's not gonna keep coming down. I'm just saying that it's not really. It ain't bearish. It's still not bearish. I mean, it's not. Depending on what we do coming up. I mean, you would need to kind of see us pushing back up, but. Is this 8th level going to hold it as resistance? It might, because it's kind of pushing down. But this is where I'm at. I really don't know what else I could say. It's way too neutral, dude. I mean, but seasonality wise, the 5-year keeps pushing up. So we do get this pullback because it's the 21st. As soon as the last 10 days of the month of April, which would have been the 20th. We do get a pullback from the 20th to the 21st, 22nd, right? On the 15-year, which is, we kind of did that. Then it extremely buys from here, all the way from the 25th, goes to the 25th. So I expect more bullishness here with the 15-year. The 5-year is literally going to go sideways, and it's just like hell, which is starting to look like this. The 30-year is just pushing up straight. So, again, I'm going to say that after this quad, the next level would be this 16th, besides this 32. This 16th, this 32, and obviously this 8th. All right, and that's the high. That would be 2 standard deviations, this level here. Oh my God, I can't wait for my vacation. You guys take care. God bless.